So you mentioned, payback. I mean, so in those terms, in those times, were they looking for a much quicker payback at those times, or?
Well, it's clearly the economics of the projects in the 90s was different. In the 90s, we faced many other, presumably, predominantly the environmental issues. So many projects were environmentally driven. That has changed now that we have more. I think we've done basically Europe has done most of the environmental work. And I think we're refocusing on profitability and yield-related and energy-related projects now.
Do you think an energy efficiency manager has to fight for funds? You mentioned yield versus energy. I mean, in terms of getting these programs off the ground, do you think or is there separate budgets for these types of activities?
He will have to fight. He will have to compete. He will have to compete with other projects, of course, and he has to do it in a clever way. He has to be able to sell energy projects well within the organization and maybe outside the organization. He has to convince that his choice of projects is a good one. Because when you talk to refinery engineers, everybody has an idea of how energy could be saved. What they do not know is that the good idea, or how good it is, or is the best? If you conduct a comprehensive energy survey, important thing is to come up with all ideas. So you convince your management, I look at everything. I know what I'm talking about. I have seen 100 projects, analyzed 50, and these are the 3 that I recommend. There's no dispute about it. If you don't do it that way, then always be a different opinion. Okay, but why this project? I had a better idea. So one way out of that situation is you must do a comprehensive energy survey, demonstrate you saw 50 projects, and you demonstrate you've chosen 3 or 4 or whatever. And then you're competing well for your budget.
So, and how important is that survey? Is that critical?
It is. I think it's absolute necessity to do it, but to demonstrate that you have done a complete survey. So no stone must remain unturned in this. So you saw all the process opportunities, and you saw all the losses, and you saw all the utility related, and you put everything on paper, and you select your best projects. So there's a methodology how you do it. There's a methodology how you comprehensively look at the process and utility side and modeling and pinch and heat integration in a systematic way, and produce what we call a roadmap. The roadmap will give you a logical sequence of projects that leads to gradual improvement of energy efficiency.
You mentioned pinch, and you mentioned all the various systems there. I mean, how to what extent does technology really have a part to play in all this now?
First of all, Elliot, there's really no new technology. When we continually improve refinery, we just push for more and more of what we already know. So the furnace is going to be more efficient as the energy cost goes up. The preheat trains are going to be bigger. We can allow for tighter temperature approach because it pays. We can install better energy monitoring, measurement. We can teach much better the optimization, simulation in energy, introduce simulation in energy. Refiners have traditionally been very good in modeling. Now the refining industry is the biggest user of mathematical modeling in all industries. And we are very good in modeling processes and yields. Now we also become very good in modeling utility systems and energy and preheat trains and understanding better. And that leads to optimization, and that leads to good monitoring, and that leads to better and better energy management. So that part of technology is evolving, the monitoring and optimization. But the technical is just the old good engineering, all good chemical engineering, which is just pushing its boundaries, just going further and further.
Is it a job that's ever finished?
Well, the average European refinery still consumes, let's say, 70% more energy than if you design the same refinery today with everything that we know in energy. So there's still about 70% gap. Of course, not all of that can be closed, but considerable improvement can be made in almost any refinery, depending on just on the cost. So there's a long way to go.
Do you think that at a board level, boards are receptive to these kind of programs right now?
Well, I would say those who are, they are, but those who are not, they're fourth quarter and third quarter refineries. One of the prerequisites of implementing a good energy program is understanding and acceptance. The energy must have a board, a sponsor at the top management level, an adequate team working in energy. That adequate team in European refineries typically is between half a person and one person. But you can easily justify 3 or 4 people working full-time in energy, considering how much improvement and how much European refineries depend on competitiveness and excellence in energy and other areas.
I mean, given the fact that if they're not putting these programs together, they're third and fourth quarter refineries, that does lead to a kind of a dire situation. Would you say?
It is, because I don't want to sound pessimistic. I don't want to say that it's not our conference, not a matter of our conference, but we will see more closures, especially if the utilization goes down to 70%, inevitably. So who will be the primary candidates? It's not difficult to guess.
Earlier, you commented a little bit on yield improvement versus inefficiency. I was wondering if you could comment a little bit more on that.
Well, I think I said that the many people start to trust energy more and more, and energy projects more and more, and differentiate positively in favor of energy projects. The interesting thing about yield and energy, we need energy to produce optimum yields. Okay, so there's no doubt of it. We're not sacrificing yield in order to. It's very easy to save energy if you sacrifice yields. Of course, you reduce reflux ratios and you sacrifice your fractionation and product quality and therefore yields. So what we want to do is to maximize yields. Actually, what you want to do is to optimize between yield and energy. So every good energy survey will take into account yield and energy simultaneously. So whenever you propose something to do in the process unit, from the energy point of view, you must check the effect of it on the yield and fractionation and product quality and flash point or technical consequence of your proposed project. Some project will be completely independent. You do something in the utility system, it does not affect processes. You change something in the crude unit, it will affect your process, and you have to take that into account. So the answer to your question is you tend to do that simultaneously. You look at yield and energy at the same time.
In terms of energy efficiency projects, do you see a lot of cross-collaboration with departments within a refinery?
That's desirable. Sometimes you don't. If you don't, then you don't see a very good energy program. You need full cooperation between the production, the technical, maintenance, and human planners. So
through a project.
It has to be understood. First, through selection of projects. So the concept, selection of projects. You need full cooperation between these, because it's not easy. You can propose something which a process department or production or operators may not like, or maintenance may not like. So you have to come up with an agreed upon list of projects that everybody agrees on. That's what I would. You have 50 projects. You have to reduce that down to 3 or 4 or 10 or 20. But those 10, everybody must agree on them, and these are your best projects.
Thank you, Zoran. That was a really interesting discussion on energy topics. Can you comment a little bit more on our panelists at energy efficiency?
Well, we have an impressive list of panelists, and I think we're going to readdress some of the questions that we discussed today, especially on energy efficiency, operating a low throughput, the room for improvement, and how you use new technology in monitoring and optimization to further improve energy efficiency in European refineries.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for doing that, and thanks for coming along today. So it's been a pleasure to have Zoran here today. We hope to see you all at the Energy Efficiency Conference in Brussels on the 16th of April this year for an excellent day's proceedings. Thank you.